What's going on, YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of After the Movie. I'm at my house right now. We just got done watching the all-new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie on Netflix, and I'm here to give my quick, unhappy opinions on the movie because, spoiler alert, I thought this was pretty bad. Like, it's not even like a so bad it's good. It's just a so bad it's just bad. There's like no fun redeeming qualities to this movie whatsoever. So, I guess I could give a brief little history of my thoughts on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. Now, I haven't really seen all of them. I've seen kind of bits and pieces of each one. I've seen the original. I've seen clips of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and they have the big, like, chainsaw fight with Dennis Hopper in that. I watched some of that. I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this one. 3, I don't really remember much about it. I know 4 has Matthew McConaughey in it. And then you had the Dooms, the 2 Platinum Dooms movies, which I'd seen the ending of 1 with Jessica Biel. I didn't see the prequel to that, which came out in 2006. And then after that was, what was it, Texas Chainsaw 3D. Now, I did see that one in its entirety, which was a direct sequel to the original. Although, with the continuity, it's like they blocked out the date. So they kind of messed things up with that. Like, okay, we don't know when to set this. Let's set it in modern times, but let's just block out the date. Because it's stupid, but it was at least kind of funny, but it was also just really dumb. Then they did Leatherface, which I have not seen. And now we have this new film, which is a sequel to the original film and not a sequel. This franchise's continuity is all over the place because you had the first like 3 movies and 4, I guess, which are in their own continuity, I guess. Then you had the remake, then you had the prequel to the remake. Then we had Texas Chainsaw 3D, which is a direct sequel to the original, ignoring every film. Then we had the Leatherface, which I guess is a prequel to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. And now we have this film, which is a direct sequel, and I guess ignoring like the previous sequel. I don't know. This franchise is just like kind of all over the place. So yeah, I didn't like this movie at all. This was actually produced by Legendary Entertainment, who's done some good stuff, but I can see why they sold this thing to Netflix because it's just not good. I think there's probably some reshoots and all sorts of stuff kind of done with this thing because you can kind of tell like things are just kind of there. There is no engaging story. There is no engaging plot. The plot this time around, we are stuck with the most awful characters I think I've seen in a movie in quite a long time. Nobody is likable. Actually, there's one guy who's just, everyone just treats him like shit, and he's like a decent guy by the end of things. Like, how do I describe the plot of this? So, it's like if you took a bunch of Eli Roth's obnoxious characters and just kind of put them into like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, and you're just kind of stuck with them. So this movie is about a bunch of obnoxious assholes, like some social media influencers, aka the most annoying people on the internet, and basically they go and they buy this town in rural Texas. They don't really do any investigating. They're just buying this town so they can create their own little influencer community or whatever. And so they go to Texas, and once they get there, keep in mind, Gio, like, these people are awful. Like, there's one scene in the movie, like, right at the beginning, they're getting gas or whatever. Some guy pulls up in his truck. He's from Texas. And not bothering anybody, not saying anything mean or nasty to anyone in particular, gets out of his truck to pump some gas. But, he's open carrying in Texas. And then, like, these obnoxious assholes are just like, boy, look at that guy with his diesel truck, and he must have a really small dick because he's open carrying. Like, look at that little dick energy and all that. This guy's not doing anything. He's just pumping gas. He's not even saying anything to them. And they're being completely awful people to this guy. He's never done anything wrong. In fact, he's one of the people that they actually hired for something without them even realizing it, with their whole town thing. So, yeah, all these people go to this town. They get a bus full of influencers. Really, really stupid characters. And this, to the point where I'm just like, oh my God, what are you even doing? So they go there, they go to this town, this ghost town. One of the guys sees a Confederate flag on some building. Keep in mind, it's kind of torn up and stuff, like on some orphanage. So they go inside, mind you. They don't knock on the door or anything. And some old lady's kind of living there. She's like Leatherface's caretaker, and she kind of keeps him in check when need be. But they basically kind of force this lady out without actually like finding a deed or whatever. And this lady just up and croaks. Like, she was just kind of sitting there, and she dies because these people are just such assholes. Like, they don't like find a diplomatic solution to anything. And it turns out that, yeah, they were in the wrong. That she did still have the deed to this building. We're like, no, we own this place. Yada, yada. So she gets taken by the police. Leatherface kind of goes with her. She dies in their custody. Leatherface then just goes on his killing spree. He literally like snaps some guy's wrist. Like, he grabs some guy's wrist and then just does this. So he's like superhuman, like he's Jason Voorhees. his wrist comes completely off, mind you, and his bones are sticking out. And then he takes his, like, the bones and just, like, kills one of the cops. And then he goes on a rampage, cuts off his mother or whatever caretaker's face, and then he's back to business. He's gonna go back to town. He's just gonna kill a bunch of people. That's it. Then you have the movie kind of pretty much just kind of taking cues from the 2018 Halloween film, where you have the lone survivor girl at the end of the first movie who got away. Now she's basically Laurie Strode without, like this lady is barely in this movie, mind you. Like, they set her up as, like, I've been waiting 50 years for this, not gonna get my revenge now. I'm like, okay, Halloween 2018. Hello, nice to see you. Like I said, it just feels like kind of a blatant ripoff. Although that film, better directed, better acted, and there's just more story and that for Laurie in that film than the character in this film. So then Leatherface goes on a killing spree, killing pretty much all the annoying social media influencers. There's one part where people have commented on this in the trailer. He goes on a bus full of like 20 people, and he's got his chainsaw out. Some guy gets out his phone. He's like, "We're going to cancel you, bro." I'm like, what is this? Like a comedy at this point? Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of funny. Like, it's so stupid. And then, like, you have like them going live on their, like, what was it, like Instagram or something like that. And they're just there, and they're like, this is, I've seen, but like all the comments are like, I've seen scarier stuff in a haunted house. So, like, completely out of touch, obnoxious people. And then he just kills them all. Keep in mind, these people are really stupid. They can all of them can just kind of swarm this guy, but they basically choose not to. And he just kills literally everyone on the bus. There's like 30 people. They're just like, oh, what do I do? How do I get out the window in that? So yeah, there's that. Like I said, they're all obnoxious social media, social justice influencers, really annoying people. So I guess they're trying to make you root for Leatherface. One of the characters has, I guess, survived like a school shooting, and I'm not sure why that's like a factor into the plot at all. I guess it's to deal with PTSD, and they're trying to give a little bit of a social commentary, like, I guess an anti-gun message, which in this movie, it's like, what do they have to rely on to survive? Guns. So, like, what are you trying to say here? But yeah, like, also, the one character I talked about earlier where they're being complete assholes to, he's the one likable character in this whole movie. Despite them treating him like shit, he's still there and he tries to help them. Like, he even, like, kind of goes in and, like, tries to stop Leatherface at some point to give everyone else a chance to kind of protect these people, despite the fact that they're all really awful to this guy. Like I said, he just minds his own business, and they treat him like shit. I'm like, I wish that guy was the main character in this movie. I would have been all for this guy going in and kicking ass. But no, he dies, and we're stuck with obnoxious social media influencer and her younger sister, I guess. Why should I care? Like, they've given me nothing. There's not even, like, a bit of a cool redemption arc. Like, I'll give you an example of one that's done right in recent horror films. The Happy Death Day movies. Jessica Roth, she plays it really well. She has a bit of an arc in that film. She starts off as this annoying, preppy girl who's just kind of treated other people like shit. And over the course of the film, like, she still is funny. She's still charismatic. But you do see a change in her, and you see her change for the better. Like, that's a character arc. If we were going to start these obnoxious social media influencers, let's at least have them really develop. No, it's just kind of like, all of a sudden, we're just seeing them really just kind of get chased around, and there's really not a chance for them to kind of grow as characters. In fact, I can't even remember their names. So it doesn't work in that sense. So I'm like, what am I supposed to root for? Leatherface, he's going around killing people. He killed the one likable character in the movie, so I guess not. He killed a bunch of social media influencers, so cool, I guess. And then they kind of have, like, the most weird, like, cutaway ending, like, just so bad, so cheap, so lazy. They escape him. Keep in mind, this guy is, like, a superhuman at this point. He's been shot a bunch of times. He killed the one girl from the original movie who literally got chainsawed through the gut, launched her, like 20 feet in the air. He's a 70-year-old man at this point, and he's just launching people around like it's nothing. I guess he has super strength for whatever reason. And, yeah, like I said, she dies. At one point, she had a chance to kill him with her shotgun pointed right at him, but she chooses to do fucking nothing. And then Leatherface goes after the girls, and then she shoots him again. I'm like, you could have shot him earlier. I don't know why you didn't. You said you waited 50 years, then all of a sudden it's just like, you still end up shooting him anyways at a later point, but you just don't do anything. What even was the point of this? Then there's a post-credit scene. I guess he's going back to his original house after one of the girls gets killed at the very end of the movie. The other one drives away, I guess, in their self-driving car. I don't know. Like, this is just really bad. It's a very short movie too. It's only like 70 minutes long, so it's barely even like just over an hour. If you count credits in that, it's like 80 minutes. I, yeah, like 72 minutes of movie. Like, there's so much more you could have done with this thing, and like this just feels like oh, let's just dump it on Netflix kind of thing. So I see why they sold it. It's not very good. I don't think we need any more Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies at this point. Like, unlike like Halloween, like where it's like I've got more of a connection to, like Texas Chainsaw, I don't like quite as much. It's just bad. Like, it just wasn't good at all. No captivating characters to keep it interesting. Leatherface is kind of one of the lesser slasher characters for me, in terms of like those types of series. Like, I don't like gravitate to Texas Chainsaw like I do to Halloween or Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or Child's Play with Chucky or Candyman. Heck, even Hellraiser I gravitate towards more. Trying to think if I missed any more at this point. Even Leprechaun, like at least the Leprechaun's kind of fun. But this one, like the original, yeah, like it's a classic, iconic movie. There's some decent stuff in some of the other stuff, but with this one, I'm just like, what was even the point? You should have just scrapped this thing from the get-go. It just didn't work for me personally. I thought it was pretty bad. It wasn't even like so bad it's good, like Texas Chainsaw 3D was. Like Texas Chainsaw 3D was bad, but at least it was funny. At least I had some memorable stuff in that one. Like, this is just kind of like a boring bad. And that to me is like the worst thing you can do. You populate it with really awful people. It just kind of sucked. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the latest entry in this dying franchise. The video game should be fun. I think it's made by the same people who made Friday the 13th. So I look forward to the video game coming out. Also, can I just say that I'm just kind of bummed that we're getting all these other slasher films, like, but where the hell is Friday the 13th at this point? Like, I'd rather have another Friday the 13th movie than another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because at least those are kind of fun. But I know they got the legal stuff going on. Or Elm Street, the last thing we got was 2010. I think Robert showed up on, like, some other, like, was it the Goldbergs reprising his role as Freddy in some sort of dream sequence? Nothing else since then. I'm not sure why they're just kind of leaving that franchise on the shelf. But here's another Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot, prequel, sequel thingamajig that's just awful. Man, this just sucks. So, yeah, that's all I got to say about this movie. Dumpster fire, piece of shit. That's all I got to say. So, if you saw the movie, what are your thoughts on it? Tell me them in the comment section down below. Subscribe, like this video, share it. I don't know. I don't care. Whatever you choose to do. But, yeah, this movie's pretty bad. All right, well, that's all I got to say. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.